The wait is over. Postseason tennis is here in Conference USA. And for the first time ever, it takes place here at the MTSU Tennis Complex. Hello everyone and welcome to the 2024 CUSA Men's Tennis Championship Tournament. Today we make history as the top-seeded Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders take on the fourth-seeded New Mexico State Aggies for a spot in the CUSA Men's Tennis Championship match. What's going on, everybody? Dylan Simmons alongside my main man, Cam Eschenfelder. And Cam, there is a palpable frenzy in the air as these two teams get ready to square off and clash.
Absolutely, Dylan. And as you say, it is set to be a fantastic day today, an electric day. Blue Raiders coming off a fantastic record so far, 18-9, just 2 conference tournament wins away from another third consecutive 20-win season.
And we are back here at the MTSU Tennis Complex. It's Middle Tennessee and New Mexico State get ready to square off in doubles action. Dylan Simmons and Cam Eschenfelder on the call with you today. And doubles action already starting. We're taking a look right now at court number 2, as well as court number 1 and 3. This is court number 1 with Leo Rakeen and Andre Horak. They're taking on Campos and Stepetic for New Mexico State. And again, this is number 1 doubles. Leo Rakeen and Andre Horak currently number 26 in the ITA doubles rankings as the first serve goes into the net by New Mexico State.
This is the doubles team to watch today. As Dylan said, number 26 in rankings. Second.
Nice move up against the net by Leo Rakeen, Cam. That'll bring the score to 15-love Middle Tennessee and make it 15 all. Serve coming up from the ad side by the Aggies. Bounces off of the net. Serve 2 upcoming.
Textbook net play there from the Raiders.
As I was just about to say, textbook net play from Andre Horak. And Cam, this Middle Tennessee pairing has been so good this year. They have the team lead in doubles wins already this season, and they have risen up the ranks quickly in the ITA rankings, and for good reason. They find a way to get wins more often than not.
Great hands there from Leo. Keeps the play alive, and they'll win the point.
Perfect move by Andre Horak as he was able to just fit it in there. And Middle Tennessee takes game number 1 here in the first doubles court. 1-0 Middle Tennessee, as that will send us to the changeover station, and we'll quickly get back to play.
So an early break here for the Raiders. Already off to an electric start.
Certainly an electric start already, like you mentioned. New Mexico State coming into this match with a 9-12 overall record. And so far as a team this season in doubles matches, they have a record of 25-74. Serve coming up from Middle Tennessee. New Mexico State is 40-59 in singles action. This is Horak as it plunges into the net. And we're taking a look now over at court number 3 as New Mexico State currently is on serve. Serve 2 upcoming. That'll go into the net. This is Shu Matsuoka and Jakob Kroslak. And they are taking on the team of Patrick Lohman and Luca Fei Diostiani. Serve coming up from the ad side, middle up 15-love on court number 3. Middle Tennessee is going to keep the groove going. New Mexico State in this match, Cam, could really use this doubles point because Middle Tennessee, whenever they do get the doubles point, more often than not, they've won this season.
Yeah, we've talked a lot this season about how much emphasis Coach Jimmy and Kelly put on getting this doubles point. It only counts for 1 point through these 3 matches. It's only 1 set. It goes very, very quick. But getting this point is not just good for well, you only need 3 more singles matches, but for that momentum that you get from that early point.
Serve up coming from the Aggies. This is going to be coming from the plus side. And that goes just past Matsuoka, who was trying to make a backhand play on it. Couldn't quite get the angle. It's going to be 40 love now over on court number 3. Nice crowd on hand today, and they are very much pro MTSU, Cam, as you'd expect.
Absolutely. MTSU always brings a good crowd. Fantastic home advantage.
And that could definitely be a huge factor today as to Middle Tennessee's chances of winning. They feed off of that crowd.
Absolutely.
Here's the serve from the ad side. And just unable to get the elevation that time was Crosslock. And that will bring it to 1-1. Now tied on court number 3 as New Mexico State is able to take game 2 on number 3 doubles. So Middle Tennessee back on serve with Shu Matsuoka. And so far this year, Matsuoka in doubles matches is 12 and 14 overall. As we switch back over to court number 1, taking a look at Middle Tennessee with Leo Rakin and Andre Horak taking on Gustavo Campos and Rocco Stepetic. And the lob just too far that time for Horak.
Just a bit deep there, so hard to get to that ball.
Put it a bit above that back line, and it allows New Mexico State to bring it to deuce. First deuce of the day over on court number 1. Serve from Horak. And he put it too far outside. That's going to make it 1-1.
So New Mexico State is going to get the break back here.
That is a huge break back, like you mentioned, for the Aggies.
Back on serve now.
Looked like that was going to be very hard to overcome, but the Aggies so far showing they are not too phased by this somewhat hostile environment, as that's too far behind the service line.
And hostile might just be an understatement. Dylan, 65-3 in home matches since 2019. Their last CUSA loss back in 2018 to Old Dominion.
It was Old Dominion who last beat Middle Tennessee in a Conference USA match. Also, the same goes for a Conference USA home match. They have not lost here in Murfreesboro to a CUSA team, like you mentioned, since 2018. 6 years of dominance here in Murfreesboro. And again, that is too far high and away. Middle is somewhat struggling with these returns, as it'll now be 15 all. Horak waiting behind the baseline. That goes into the net. And serve number 2. Big service game here for New Mexico State. And a double fault. Boy, that is a costly mistake, Cam.
Yeah, those are the kind of mistakes that you need to fix coming into your singles match.
Especially in a CUSA tournament, double faults will add up. They always say that the postseason can sometimes make your errors and your setbacks shine that much more, and that might be the case here. Now 30-15 Middle Tennessee over on court number 1. Serve from the ad side. And Campos puts it in the net. Here's serve number 2.
Great net play there. Wow.
What a nice move right against the net that time, Ken. That can be tough to make, especially when it comes to execution, but he was able to get it done.
Absolutely. Great poach up at the net.
That'll make it 40-15, and Middle Tennessee with a chance to get another break point here on court number 1. Already were able to do that in their first game of this set.
Oh, wow. So break to break to break. So far, no holds this match.
So 3 straight breaks between Middle Tennessee and New Mexico State over on court number 1, and that will bring us to the changeover station. Middle Tennessee on top after capturing their second break point over on court number 1, and now we move back to court number 3 as we take a look at Middle Tennessee, New Mexico State with Matsuoka and Crosslock. And they are currently taking on the team as that one goes out, currently taking on the team Patrick Lohman and Luca Fei de Ostiani. Taking a look right now, Middle Tennessee with the advantage on all 3 courts, but for how much longer will they be able to keep that, and can they get this all-important doubles point? Here's the serve from the Aggies. And that one goes just outside. So it will now be 15 all. Big moment here for Fei de Ostiani and Lohman, trying to tie this match up at 2 apiece. And that goes just outside as Luca watches it go behind the back line.
Just an unfortunate error there from Shu. Something that you really need to iron out before you get into singles, as we mentioned. You don't want to take that into your next match.
And Shu has a lot of power that he likes to use.
Absolutely. Yeah, we talked about it a little bit in some of our previous streams. Shu Matsuoka, talking with Coach Jimmy, has really come a long way as a player. We saw him just preseason early on. He had so much power in his server, like, wow, he must have put so much more speed on that. But after talking to Coach Jimmy, he actually talked about how he wants him to take some off of it. He just wants him to put it in there. And yeah, he's just got so much power. He's such a great, well put together player.
Just to the right of the service line that time. And a double fault. The second time we've seen that in the last few moments, this time over on court number 3, and both by New Mexico State King.
Still early on. They could iron him out, as we said. Definitely need to if they want to have a chance in this one.
Tennessee can feast on those mistakes, and the Aggies will have to be careful of it. As that one finds nothing but net, and Middle Tennessee will make it 3-1 over on court number 3. And now we've got a report from our man Tommy on the sideline. Tommy, what do you have for us?
Here in court number 5, MTSU is up 3-0 on New Mexico State. MTSU is about to be up 4-0 as they're up 40-15 in game number 4. They have started really well. They've been really powerful on their serves, and they've been able to put pressure on New Mexico State's serves as well.
All right, thank you, Tommy, for that report. And like you mentioned, Middle Tennessee up 3-0, about to be potentially 4-0 on court number 2. And number 2 doubles certainly coming up well for Middle Tennessee, as is court number 3 with Matsuoka and Crosslock.
The net game's starting to come alive right now for the Raiders. Didn't quite see it, but on court 1 and on court 2, 2 big slams.
Keeping an eye on the serve from Crosslock. Middle Tennessee able to finally hold. Now 30 love. Serve from Crosslock again. And Matsuoka can't get a handle on it.
That one just too good. Put it right down the middle. Sometimes it's hard to communicate who's going to grab that ball. Over on court 1, a little update. MTSU finally got their first hold of the game. First hold by either team this match. 3-1 now, MTSU.
Luca Fei de Ostiani currently 7-12 on the season in doubles. And Lohman currently with a 3-9 doubles record, so they have struggled on court number 3, has New Mexico State. And what a serve from Crosslock. That'll make it 40-15.
And if you notice anything different about Crosslock, not just him, but almost every Raider seems to have gotten a haircut. They seem to have all buzzed the sides of their head. Definitely got to get a new cut for the conference tournament.
We were talking about that earlier on before the match, and it certainly is a unique look, and it might be something to set them apart and bring them together as a team, as that one will go into the net. Absolutely. It's pretty cold out here today, colder than usual here in late April.
Makes for great tennis weather, though.
It does make for great tennis weather, as that one will not quite find the mark, and that will bring it to 40-30. So New Mexico State staying alive to try to make it 3-2. Serve from Crosslock. And Matsuoka has something to say about that with that spike play against the net. 4-1 Middle Tennessee as they make their way to the changeover station. They're on the fast track to taking number 3 doubles. What a job by Matsuoka that time, Cam. So Middle Tennessee now up 4-1. And when MTSU wins doubles, Cam, they win matches 82% of the time. Our man Brett Walker, who is one of our friends, giving us a nice stat for that, and that's certainly a big one when you consider just how dominant Middle Tennessee is in doubles.
Absolutely, and it really shows why Coach Shimmy puts that emphasis on doubles. As we were saying, that momentum and that early point, it does mean quite a lot. 82% of the matches that they win.
As we take a look now at number 2 doubles, Valine and Fajan taking on Kamrowski and Cueto Ramos. And currently Middle Tennessee also in prime position. Now up 30-15 and up 4-0 overall here on court number 2. Trying to potentially get a, as it's called in tennis, a bagel, a 6-0 win.
So far they are on track to do that right now. 4-0 MTSU. Great serve there though, wow.
What an ace by New Mexico State. You saw Kamrowski and Cueto Ramos try to make a play on it, but there's just nothing you can do when it's on that line like that. Some extra special speed. Now it's a 30-all match.
So far Marcel standing a bit back.
That into the net.
Yeah.
Look for a second that he would let it play out, and indeed it was back. Serve 2.
Great net play there from Marcel. Right back at his feet, so difficult to pick back up.
And Middle Tennessee's net presence has been a huge factor in all 3 doubles matches today. We've seen it time and time again, Cam, how much it pays off for them.
Serve coming up here for New Mexico State.
As the Aggies try to stage a comeback down 40-30.
Break point opportunity.
That one just behind the service line. Serve 2. From the ad side.
Great backhand from Marcel. Again, right back at him. Sometimes that's the best placement, right at the feet. So hard to pick back up.
And Middle Tennessee now up 5-0 over on number 2 doubles. Having their way against New Mexico State. Valine and Fajan trying to pick up the pieces. Middle Tennessee, they can smell what's cooking in the kitchen. A potential doubles point.
Absolutely. Off to a great start over there on court 2.
Now we'll move back to number 1 doubles, where Middle Tennessee is currently up 3-2 on New Mexico State, but the Aggies are hanging around.
Yeah, this game a little closer than you would imagine, coming from such a highly ranked doubles pairing. New Mexico State, as you say, really holding their own.
So
and
coming up,
not shying away from the competition here.
From Andre Horak. Sun now out after the rain showers early on.
Oh, wow.
And a mistake by Rakeen.
Yep. Seems like he wanted to get it, but he second-guessed himself, just didn't really swing through it.
That's going to make it 3-3 over on number 1 doubles.
New Mexico has certainly came to play. Last year did not do quite as well as they wanted. A 3-18 season just last year. So far 9-12. They're definitely on an upwards trend, and they definitely want to make a name for themselves right now.
And
Tennis team has the talent.
Upsetting Middle Tennessee would certainly help make that name.
Absolutely.
Middle Tennessee has won 4 consecutive Conference USA championships, going for 5 this year.
Front runner right now, number 1 seed.
And that is a great return by Andre Horak to make it 15-love. Middle Tennessee closing in on both courts 2 and 3 right now. We'll keep an eye on both of those. That is put in the net by New Mexico State again, trying to make a net play. And a unforced error. Now it's going to be 30 love. Serve on the way from the Aggies.
Oh, an unfortunate shot there.
And you saw what Horak was going for that time. Trying to just barely get it over the net. They were playing pretty close that time, both he and Rakeen. Just unable to quite get it to where it needed to be. Now we'll move over quickly to number 2 doubles, where Middle Tennessee is up 40-30 and 5-0 overall in the set. They have a chance to get their first court here in doubles. This is Valine and Fajin taking on Kamrowski and Cueto Ramos.
Set point here.
Set point, serve up from Kamrowski. And
A big
Cueto
slam.
Ramos with an exclamation point to take number 2 doubles.
So 6-0 over on court 2.
And they got that bagel they were looking for. Middle Tennessee now one step closer to getting that all-important doubles point, and that was a heck of a way to end it, Cam.
Absolutely, an early breakfast there. Bagel over on court 2. We'll switch over to another court now.
So Middle Tennessee well on their way. We'll go back over to court number 1 for the moment, as Middle Tennessee still tied 3-3, down 40-30 to New Mexico State in game number 7 of this set. And that will go into the net, so New Mexico State wins their service game and is now up 4-3.
Right now over on court 2, Shu Masuoka is currently serving for the set.
That he is. As we
MTSU's
just come
gonna
back
win
to
it.
that, Middle Tennessee is going to claim the doubles point. So the Blue
Yep.
Raiders, by a score of 6-1 over on court number 3, claim the doubles point over New Mexico State. And the Blue Raiders one step closer to potentially going back to the CUSA Men's Tennis Championship match. What a job by Middle Tennessee, Cam.
So an early lead here, 1-0, and as we already mentioned, an 82% chance of winning this after winning that doubles point. Gives a lot of momentum right now for MTSU.
But as we've seen throughout the course of the season, it can definitely change depending on singles and doubles. So we will set it to a quick break here on ESPN+. Middle Tennessee on top 1-0 here in the CUSA Men's Tennis Championship semifinal. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Welcome back here on ESPN+. We're live at the CUSA Men's Tennis Championship Tournament. Dylan Simmons and Cam Eschenfelder joining you today. Middle Tennessee on top 1-0 after claiming the doubles point against the Aggies, and it was certainly a dominant doubles point at that, Cam.
Absolutely, 6-0 over on court 3 and 6-1 victory over on court 2. And so Blue Raiders are going to take the doubles point, and as we already mentioned, Coach Jimmy loves to see a good early victory on doubles. So now we're going to head into some singles action.
Yeah, singles action coming up. It's going to be crucial for both sides to see if they can get the job done. Let's take a look at some keys to success on both sides. For New Mexico State, it's about digging deep. The depth will be especially huge in this match. That is where the difference could be made. Stand your ground. MTSU plays very aggressive, but don't let them dictate the pace. And finally, turn down the volume, Cam. You got to keep this crowd out of it if at all possible. What do you think are some keys to success for Middle Tennessee?
Yeah, I think for MTSU, it really is using that home court advantage. I know that we said for New Mexico State, they kind of got to mute the crowd a little bit, but it's going to be so hard to do, especially at this new complex. First time that MTSU is hosting the CUSA tournament from this complex, you wonder, will they be able to get the same kind of crowd entertainment and excitement from the crowd as they did at Adams? But we already saw they got a big win against Louisville to start off matches here at the complex. So I think that's definitely going to be one of the keys, is to use that kind of extra emphasis that you get from the crowd. And yeah, as you said, hold your ground for MTSU as well. You've got great players on your roster. You just got to play your game, do well.
There's going to be a lot of interesting singles matches coming up. One I'm especially looking forward to, Leo Rakeen and Itai Fajin. That is going to be a really interesting one when you consider that both of them have been CUSA Athletes of the Week. Rakeen twice and Fajin just once on this past couple of weeks. So these are two very interesting players, kind of similar in the way that they play. And it's going to be a very good matchup over at #1 singles.
Absolutely. I think Leo's definitely going to be a player to watch, as well as, I believe, excuse me, I think Oscar will also be, or I'm sorry, not Oscar. I call him every single time. Yeah, Leo will be a great player to watch, and then Shu as well if he plays today.
Yes.
We already talked a little bit about him and his improvement this year. It's already been astronomical from last year. We already see that he can play at pretty much any position. He's been shifted around so many times, and he's really done well at every position, so he'll definitely be one to watch as well.
That's going to be over at court #6, Matsuoka and Lucas Faye Diostiani. All right, folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on ESPN Plus. The action continues when we return. Welcome back here on ESPN Plus. Dylan Simmons and Cam Eschenfelder on the call with you today. And Cam, it's now time for that sweet singles action as Middle Tennessee takes on New Mexico State. Taking a look currently at court #3, and this is going to be Andre Horak and Roko Stepetic for Middle Tennessee and New Mexico State. So Stepetic and Horak, as Horak takes the 15-love lead. Andre Horak so far on the year is 14-9 in singles matches. And Stepetic, to his credit, is so far 6-8. And the serve coming up from Repetic. Into the net it goes for Horak, who is trying to get an early break point here on court #3. Stepetic is on the best streak of anybody for Mexico State currently. He's won his last 3 singles matches. That is the hottest that any New Mexico State player has been as of late. Which is this one just outside.
Yeah, it's hard to miss Stepetic, not only with his fantastic tennis play, but standing at 6'4", you can't miss him.
As it looks like Horak calls that one out. It was very close on that sideline, but
there.
Horak makes the call, and it's now 30-all. Again, if you're just joining us, Middle Tennessee taking the doubles point on New Mexico State by winning 6-0 and 6-1 on courts 2 and 3. Now trying to win 3 of these singles matches to take today's match.
We'll see if the wind plays a factor in today's match. You can see the banners for the CUSA are already flapping a little bit.
And unlike doubles, we have to play best 2 out of 3 in singles matches. And a whiff that time from Stepetic towards the back line. That'll keep Horak in position and make it 40-30. Looks like they're going to award the point to New Mexico State. So good move by Stepetic as he decided to just let it go out and not make a play on it.
Important for New Mexico State to try to get an early hold here.
Horak calls it out. Serve 2 upcoming from the outside. And Andre Horak is going to tie it at 40 apiece.
Yep. Great defense there. Sometimes it's all about playing chess. Just wait for the opponent to make the mistake.
Nice rally on both sides. And great persistence by Horak, as he so often does, using his disciplined play and disciplined mindset to bring it to deuce.
Yeah, we know Andre is a very explosive player at MTSU, but he knows when to keep his composure.
And look out below, Andre Horak is going to make it 1-0.
Perfect passing shot there. It's going to get the early break.
So he gets a break point on Roko Stepetic, and we'll head to the changeover station on top. Big one for Middle Tennessee early on, and those break points will be crucial as this match continues. Now we take a look at court #2. This is Marcel Kamrowski, and he is taking on Tobias Volin.
Marcel also rocking a new haircut.
He is. We haven't seen him with that haircut in a long time. It's definitely a unique look, but Marcel's going to pull it off.
It'll make for a good photo.
Certainly will. If Middle Tennessee ends up winning this CUSA championship, that'll be a memorable photo for sure.
Great 1-2 there from Marcel, and I wonder if the wind kind of played a bit of factor in that shot as well. Is pushing just the other way on that shot, so yeah, didn't quite get over the net.
Yeah, we talked about that, dictating the pace for Middle Tennessee. That's kind of what Kamrowski did right there, pushing it towards the back line. And Kamrowski is not done yet, as that one is put in the net by Valine here at number 2 singles. So far, Valine is 8-9 in singles on the year. Reached a top ITF junior ranking in the past of 487 during his time in the junior ranks. And Kamrowski takes care of business once again. Beautiful return, kind of went over the head that time, and they would put it down right in front of Valine, who could catch up to it in time. Serve coming up. Put into the net. Kamrowski was once in the ITA singles rankings earlier on this season.
Great rally there from Marcel. And he's playing in a very similar way that we saw from Andre, very high percentage tennis, waiting for New Mexico State to make the error.
Electric rally by both Valine and Kamrowski that time. And it's Kamrowski who wins the chess match. And that's part of that patience we've talked about, Cam, just waiting for your opponent to make the mistake. Kamrowski doing a great job of that. Talked to head coach Jimmy Borendame earlier on this week. He talked about the excitement and the intensity that Middle Tennessee was looking to bring to this tournament. And so far against New Mexico State, they have done just that. Kamrowski up 2-0 on Valine. That one just behind the service line. Kamrowski, the sophomore out of Poland, 6'2", 160 pounds, 8-7 this year in singles. He's had a lot of unfinished matches, so that record not entirely emblematic of what his capabilities are. And a double fault.
Wow, that's costly.
We've talked about how costly double faults are, especially in this tournament against this team, and another big one by Valine.
Marcel is absolutely a long match player, though. Sometimes you'll see him go into 3-setters, and that's when he'll really dominate. So absolutely, there are some certain matches that he wasn't able to finish, but great player overall. Well, just in the net.
That time unable to get it over the net. We'll send it courtside to our man Tommy. Tommy, what do you have for us?
Here in court number 6, Matsuoka is up 2-0 on Diastiani, and it is 40-love in game number 3, and he is able to hold again, and he is up 3-0 on court number 6. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you, Tommy, for that awesome update. Now going over to number 6 singles as we go back to court number 2. My apologies. As Kamrowski and Valine still in action. Currently the score is 30-15, Kamrowski on top. Valine will continue to be on serve here. Serving from the outside. Notice Valine is also a lefty for New Mexico State. That can create an interesting dynamic for any tennis player, especially when you're trying to return, Cam.
Absolutely. Lefties can be dangerous. You have to change up which side you might, oh goodness, almost lost our papers there. Sometimes you got to change up which side you might swing to, because when you swing to a certain side, you're thinking I'm swinging to his forehand. You got to change that before the match, know what his weak side might be.
Kamorowski unable to collect that. Nice return by Valine, and that will bring us to 30 all at number 2 singles. So Valine really in big need of trying to make it 2-1. You do not want to give up another break point to Kamorowski, if at all possible. That could be all she wrote for set 1. That one pushed a bit too far back by Valine, trying to play Kamorowski near that baseline. So now 40-30.
Oh, that ball, such an unfortunate hop off the net. Bounced just a bit too high, couldn't put a racket on it.
Sometimes you'd rather be lucky than good, and Valine, with a bit of luck on his side that time, still a well-placed return, and now it's gonna be deuce. And this is the most intense portion of any game for a tennis player. It all comes down to this 1-0 moment. Here's the serve.
Oh, wow. Both players playing pretty conservatively there, but an unforced error is going to give Marcel another game.
Yeah, the UE by Valine, and it looks like Marcel Kamorowski will go up 3-0 on number 2 singles, and Middle Tennessee is rolling here at home. We're going to go over now to number 4 singles to take a look at our next matchup, as it's Jakob Kroslok taking on Gustavo Campos. Check it, that's actually Demis Teramonlis taking on Patrick Lohman. So this is number 4 singles. This is number 6 singles, my apologies. Shu Matsuoka and Luca Fei Deostiani. So our first look at number 6 singles. Apologies for the mishap there.
Shu has played at many different positions on this team. He's played up to court 4 even.
Right, you are. He's been all over this lineup for Middle Tennessee, but taking number 6 today.
Great position there from Shu. Wow. Really just whips it right across the court. So Shu's playing a little bit more aggressive in this game.
And a nice mixture on those returns as well. Great forehands and backhands against Deostiani. And Matsuoka will take a 40-15 lead. Opportunity is knocking for Matsuoka to go up 4-0 in set number 1. And again, put his team even closer to advancing to that CUSA Men's Tennis Championship match.
4-0 up or this early on that quickly. That'd be very costly for Luca if he plans on coming back, especially in the second set, try to reset. If he doesn't have enough time to see what kind of weaknesses Shu has, could be detrimental.
Bounces that serve off the net. And
Another
this
costly
one
mistake there
will be an unforced error. So Matsuoka now up 4-0 at number 6 singles, and putting Luca Fei Deostiani on the ropes.
Yeah, and you can see the frustration there in his face. Just a little, what do I do with this current point? You know, you go down 0-4, you got to find something that works.
So the junior out of Italy having issues with the sophomore out of Japan. Another interesting note, both of these teams have all international players. No players from the United States. Certainly creates for an interesting dynamic, but that shows the worldwide reach of both of these teams.
Yeah, and we see that a lot in college tennis, but typically you do see, you know, maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 American players on any given team. But for these two Conference USA teams, they've got literally every position filled by another country, and it's fantastic to see what kind of talent you can pull from every other country.
You are looking live at court number 2. This is Marcel Kamrowski taking on Tobias Valine. Now it is 30-all and a 3-0 advantage for Kamrowski. And that one is shoved well out of play. So that'll make it 40-30 Kamrowski. New Mexico State, so far in road matches, is 4-10 on the season, 2-4 in neutral site matches. And although this is technically a neutral site match, it might as well be a road match playing here in Murfreesboro.
Yeah. MTSU, not the greatest at road matches either, 3-6. They definitely prefer playing at home.
So here comes the serve from Kamrowski. Puts it into the net. Serve 2. Footwork from Valine that time. And it looks like Marcel Kamrowski will have to deal with deuce. So a deuce situation up against Valine. And you saw the footwork that time, Cam, putting it to good use. And now we will take a look at court number 4. So we've come full circle. Now at court 4, action already in progress. This is Demis Teramonlis and Patrick Lohman for Middle Tennessee and New Mexico State, respectively. Teramonlis up 30-15 on Lohman. And the serve coming up from New Mexico State. So Middle Tennessee certainly in a prime position over on court number 4. Currently the score update showing it as 2-1 New Mexico State as we take a look at the scoreboard. So apologize for any technical issues you might have had on that as that goes into the net. I believe this might be Jakob Crosslock and Gustavo Campos.
Yeah, so this is Jakob right now on court 4. Currently the only Blue Raider down at 1-2. Some updates. We're on court 1. It is 4-0 still. Court 2 currently at 3-1. Court 3 is 3-2. Court 4 is 1-2. New Mexico State leading that one. And then MTSU is leading as well on 5 and 6, both at a score of 4-0.
And too much power, too much mustard from Campos. That'll make it deuce. And again, Jakob Crosslock down 2-1. New Mexico State with Campos currently shown to be on serve.
This deuce could change it though.
This would be a huge break point for Crosslock.
This would put Jakob back on serve.
Was already broken once. Now here comes the serve for the Aggies. That one just outside. And there was a rogue ball that was bouncing into the court.
Coach Jimmy's got it though.
Head coach Jimmy Borendame for the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders in his 14th season.
Oh wow, and a double fault.
Wow, it was called back.
Oh goodness.
By Jakob Crosslock, and that will make it 2-2 over on court number 4. What a critical mistake on deuce.
So that's gonna get Jakob the break back. He's gonna be able to serve now. On serve, 2-2.
So on serve 2-2 now for Middle Tennessee. That's a huge break point. And again, it's those costly errors that are adding up for New Mexico State in this match.
We're back to court 3 now.
This is court number 3 with Andre Horak and Rocco Stepedic. Horak up 3-2. That one will make it 40 love now over on, or actually make it 4-2 as we just tuned in. Middle Tennessee now up 4-2 with Horak over on court number 3. So Stepetic will go on serve now, but Horak certainly in control at the moment. And that will go nowhere, but outside the sideline. Horak gave chase to it.
Yeah, and I wonder if I don't believe they called let on that play, even though the ball was rolling in.
They let it play out, so I believe you're right. New Mexico State with Stepetic will be awarded that to make it 15 love.
So that would have been Andre's call. I think he was fine with it.
Also might not have saw that there was a ball bouncing behind him. We will keep an eye over here on court number 3, but while we have a moment, we've got the voice of Mr. Tommy, our courtside reporter. Tommy, what do you have for us?
Court number 5, Tara Monlis is up 4-0 on Lawman, and he is serving to go up 5-0. He's up a double break and has been able to hold serve. He's been looking really good and strong here. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Tommy. That's over on court number 5. As you mentioned, Demis Tara Monlis up 4-0.
And check that, Demis is now actually up 5-0. He will have an opportunity to break.
Yep, just changed over the score after claiming it on deuce.
Oh, and another unforced error there.
Yeah, Stepetic with the unforced error, the UE right against the net. And I think you saw some topspin from Horak that time on a couple of those returns towards the baseline. And he is now up 30, or rather makes it 30-15, New Mexico State.
And an important reminder that wind can definitely play a huge impact in tennis. The way that you strike the ball, the way that you set your feet, and then the ball goes flying somewhere else. It can be really hard to combat sometimes.
And Horak pushes it above the sideline to make it 40-15. So this could be a huge opportunity for Stepetic to hold on this service game and keep himself down only 1 game here in this first set. Stepetic, the sophomore out of Croatia, 6-8 in singles so far this year, has won his last 3 singles matches, those being against Lubbock Christian, New Mexico, and Tennessee Tech. As that will go into the net, and serve 2 on the way. And Horak trying to just barely get it over the net. Couldn't quite get the clearance on it. That'll make it for number 3, and Stepetic is able to win his service game. That'll bring him to the changeover station. And New Mexico State with the 4-3 game. Now we go over to court number 6, where New Mexico State down 40-15. Shu Matsuoka trying to win the set, and he just pushes this one out up against Luca Fei de Ostiani. Matsuoka could become the first player on either side to claim a single set in this match. Here we go. Serve from Luca.
Oh, and a perfect
shoe shiner from Matsuoka as he goes cross court on Luca to get a bagel first set 6-0.
Yeah, it's just perfect placement there. I mean, perfect little drop shot right at a expert angle up there at the net, and then, yeah, just puts it right past him. Can't make it any better.
And those droppers can sometimes be critical, Cam, and that is exactly what Matsuoka utilized right there. Perfect placement, as you mentioned. And a big first set victory on number 6 singles. So Middle Tennessee claims the first set in singles action. And there's a couple of other courts that are also very close to that same mark. One of those being court number 1 with Leo Rakeen taking on Itai Fajin. So Rakeen currently waiting this serve. What a job by Rakeen.
Wow. What a dagger there from Leo.
Talk about a mid-air adjustment. He jumped up for that ball and found a way to put it in the perfect spot to where Fajin could do nothing about it. Make it 30-15. That's what the number 42 player in the nation specializes in, mid-air adjustments and perfect, precise returns. Now the serve from Fajin as he tries to do something about it. Both of them former CUSA Athletes of the Week. Fajin, by the way, Cam, the first player in New Mexico State history to win that honor. Here's serve 2 from the ad side. And a powerful return again by Rakeen.
Yeah, Fajin there looking to get that passing shot, but just couldn't quite get it over the net. 1 point away now for Leo. Double break point here for the set.
Leo Rakeen trying to claim his 18th singles win of the season. Currently leads Middle Tennessee in that mark. He is also 8-6 in nationally ranked singles matches and showing a national presence here today.
Oh, so Fajin fights on here. Leo will still have 2 more opportunities.
And Fajin did a great job that time, Cam, of kind of reversing the pressure. Initially, it was Rakeen who was on the attack, but Fajin able to turn the table, so to speak. And he's able to keep his hopes alive. It's now 40-30. Rakeen on top.
Finding any way to get into that rally, just cross-court, high percentage tennis, and then waiting for your moment. Just wide.
Just wide by a few inches. Serve number 2. And Leo Rakeen will take set number 1. A 6-0 bagel once again. Once from Matsuoka, now from Rakeen, and Middle Tennessee is cooking in the kitchen once more. So a big win for Leo Rakeen, and he gets 1 step closer to that potential singles point. We'll go to court number 3 now, where Middle Tennessee is now up 5-3 on New Mexico State, with Andre Horak taking on Rocco Stepedic. Over on court number 2 as well, things are getting pretty close.
Over on court 5, Demis Taramanlis just took 6-0 set number 1.
So Demis Taramanlis will get another set victory for Middle Tennessee by a score of 6-0. The 3rd bagel for Middle Tennessee here in this first set of singles. And now we rejoin court 3 as Rocco Stepedic will have that one placed perfectly on the serve. It is now 40-30 Stepedic, who is trying to make it 5-4 in set 1 against Horak. Horak playing behind that back line. Into the net it goes.
Oh, come on!
And Stepedic will make it 5-4 as it goes up and out. Too high by Horak over the back line.
Over on court 2, Marcel Kamrowski just had a monster rally to win his first set, 6-1.
So the Dominoes keep falling for Middle Tennessee. Another set 1 victory, this time from Kamorowski by a score of 6-1.
Still to play here, Jakob Kroslak over on court 4, 3-3. Court number 3, right now 5-4.
So those are the only 2 matches here in singles action that are still currently in their first set. As you mentioned, Cam, just courts 3 and 4. That being Jakob Kroslak and Gustavo Campos, and Andre Horak and Rocco Stepetic. You're looking live at court number 2 now, or court number 6 rather, where Shu Matsuoka won his first set by a score of 6-0 over Luca Fei de Ostiani. And they are currently awaiting the start of set number 2 as they both take some time to breathe in the changeover station. We rejoin court number 1 for the moment, where Leo Rakeen is warming up currently against Itai Fajin. Rakeen up 15-love as he tries to get a big singles point for Middle Tennessee. Meanwhile, over on court number 3, Andre Horak currently on serve, trying to claim his first set against Rocco Stepetic. Leo Rakeen again showing his specialty at switching up returns, going from backhand to forehand to slice, and he delivers it perfectly almost every time. Make it 30-love. So Rakeen will get ready to serve again here. Serve from Rakeen. And it's a slice battle like it's pepperoni pizza from Domino's. And the winner of that slice battle is Leo Rakeen. Make it 40-love. And that is pushed beyond the back line, so Leo Rakeen will make it 1-0 in set number 2 against Fajin.
Leo just completely rolling right now. 40-love victory on this last one. Hasn't dropped a game yet.
Showing you why he's number 42 in the nation. Meanwhile, here is court number 3. And Horak.
Oh, no. So Andre, I don't know if we could see it on screen, went for a tweener there and just barely whiffed it.
Almost looked like for a second that he thought the ball was going to go out of play.
Yeah.
And decided to kind of watch it. Then when it landed in play, it was left with a last resort.
Although we see it as a trick shot, it can definitely be used as a way to keep your momentum while you're running. Just hit it underneath your legs while you're running instead of having to turn your body to the side.
And Horak pushes it wide.
Yep, great whip there from him. Thought that ball hit the line. Line judge says it did not.
Let's go.
Call made by the line judge and also Stepetic.
Oh, wow. Wait a second.
Uh-oh.
The line judge did award that shot to MTSU.
Okay, so Stepetic made the initial call, and the line judge, like you mentioned, Cam, overruled him. We see this sometimes, and Stepetic is obviously not too thrilled about it.
Yeah, and that's a difficult call to make there. Ball definitely looked like it was close, but yeah, from this angle at least, definitely didn't look like it clipped. I think that's what New Mexico State is arguing, but
Well, at the end of the day, the line judge is the final boss.
we'll go to Andre.
And that is massive when you consider the potential ramifications.
Yeah, because now Andre's in a great position here, 40-30 now.
So this is going to be for the set right here, Cam. Here we go. Serve from Horak. Bit too much power.
Yep. If you're Rocco right now, you need to forget about that specific call that was just made. If you're thinking about that, you could just lose his first set here.
And an unforced error will end the set. So Andre Horak capitalizing, and that line judge overruling allows Middle Tennessee to get another first set victory.
Yeah, some frustration as he crosses over, but it's understandable. It's a tough call to make there, and yeah, definitely had an impact in some way.
There you see head coach Carlos Vargas talking to his player, as we will soon head over to court number 4, but Vargas obviously trying to talk his player through frustration. Not an easy moment to take in, and when you think that you've got something on lock and you have that happen, it certainly can affect you from a mental standpoint.
Yeah, you know, if you hold on to that play for too long, you could very, very quickly lose the game. He's so far playing MTSU better than a lot of his teammates right now. 6-4 set was a lot better. He definitely has a shot to come back in second set, but if he holds on to that, it'll definitely be costly.
We now head back to number 4 singles. And an unforced error into the net will allow Gustavo Campos to make it 30 all. Make it 40-15 rather. This is the final of these singles matches that are currently in set number 1. Again, this is Jakob Kroslak and Gustavo Campos. Otherwise, Middle Tennessee has won all of the other first sets against New Mexico State. That one goes just far from the service line. Middle Tennessee needs just 3 of these singles courts to claim victory here today. Claimed the all-important doubles point earlier on, and if you missed our stat that we brought up earlier, Middle wins 82% of their matches that they win the doubles point. That'll now make it as it was just inside for 40-30. Gustavo Campos, the junior out of Brazil, the former ITA All-American, a transfer from Barton Community College. And here's the serve. Bounces off the net, and serve 2 upcoming.
Oh, 2 feet in. Terrible call. Vamos!
That ball unfortunately bounced in the net.
Kroslak unable to go back across. Sometimes, depending on the stance of your body on the return, it can be very hard to get the necessary power to get it over the net in those situations, King. That could have been what happened to Kroslak in that situation. So he will now serve with the score at 4-4 overall in set 1.
Great return there. Jakob Kroslak has had a fantastic year so far. He's played many times at court 6, eventually moved his way up to now playing at court 4. Over at court 6, he had some pretty good wins. Had a 5-2 singles record this year. Now in court 6, he had a win over Mississippi State and Cal.
Yes, he did. Kroslak has been exceptional this year, and he is hoping to keep that rolling here in the CUSA tournament. The freshman out of Slovakia. He is 11-3 overall in singles matches this year. Reached an all-time ATP and ITF junior ranking high of 1289. Played international matchups in the summer of last year in Egypt. So he is a worldwide traveler, and he's hoping to bring that to Murfreesboro as he already has.
That ball just misses the line there.
And tried to slice it and couldn't quite get it to hit that line. So that will help tremendously Campos. Score is now 30-15, Kroslak on top here in this 4-4 set 1. First time that these two teams have ever met as Conference USA foes. They met once before back in 2004 in a neutral site match in Mobile, Alabama. Middle Tennessee won 4-3. And now they meet again here in Murfreesboro 20 years later.
Great rally play there.
And what a placement by Crosslock Cam in that corner. Nothing that really Campos could do about it as he tried to slice it low and had no place to put that ball over the net.
Yeah, they got into a good little backhand rally there and just waited on someone to make the mistake.
Score is now 40-15, Jakob Crosslock on top of Gustavo Campos. This to make it 5-4. Not yet, as it bounces off the net. Second serve. And it's going to be pushed wide, so Jakob Crosslock will make it 5-4 at number 4 singles.
He will have an opportunity after this to break for the set.
That'll bring us to the changeover station. Jakob Crosslock trying to make it a clean sweep in set number 1 for Middle Tennessee in the Conference USA Men's Tennis Tournament semifinal. Now we'll go double as we take a live look at 2 of our courts. One of those is court number 3, Andre Horak and Rocco Stepetic. And the other is court number 1, Leo Rakeen and Itai Fajin. Currently, Rakeen and Fajin are tied by a score of 1-1 in set number 2. Rakeen on top 40-15 on serve. Here's the serve from Rakeen. And Rakeen just slams it away.
Easy put away there.
Pretty easy when you get that kind of lob. And Rakeen taking care of big business once again.
Leo playing textbook tennis right now.
That'll make it 2-1 over on court number 1 in set number 2. Rakeen trying to get Middle Tennessee's first singles point of the day and make it 2-0. Meanwhile, on your right side, Rocco Stepetic down 1-0 to Andre Horak in set number 2. Horak currently on serve, up 15-love. And Horak cannot land the backhand. Middle Tennessee led as always by their esteemed head coach Jimmy Borendame in his 14th season, a 241 and 132 overall record. And as we've talked about so many times, he's won 4 consecutive CUSA championships, finished as high as number 15 in the 2022 ITA rankings, and has become a local legend here in Murfreesboro. And there's a good reason for that, Cam.
Absolutely. I mean, when you win as much as Coach Jimmy does, it's hard to not recognize that. And I mean, he even has a meal named after him at one of the local food chains down here, the Jimmy Calzone.
The Jimmy Calzone, the Boulevard, the restaurant that Cam's referring to. And gotta admit, it is very tasty. So Jimmy Borendame, as always, leading his crew well. Meanwhile, we've got another great member of our crew. Mr. Tommy is courtside for us. Tommy, what do you have for us?
Here at court number 5, Tara Monlis is up 3-0 in set number 2. He won the first set 6-0 and is continuing his dominance in set number 2 here, and he's looking to go up 4-0. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you, Tommy. So Demis Tara Monlis woke up feeling dangerous like Baker Mayfield today. He's trying to get a double bagel. Meanwhile, we resume play over on court number 1. Rakeen and Fajin, 2 number 1 seeds on both sides. Fajin puts that serve in just wide. And Rakeen just takes care of that one with no problem. Beautiful forehand. Talked about the head coach for Middle Tennessee, and now time to talk about the head coach for New Mexico State, Carlos Vargas. He's in his 35th total season with the Aggies, but he's only been a head coach for 14 years. Took over back in 2011 as well, and has had to take on an extended role as assistant coach. Stas Smirnov left for the head coaching job at Alcorn State. As Fajan puts it in the net once again.
Great movement there by Leo. He's got such good topspin on his backhand and really just works his way up the net once he gets a good striking shot.
That topspin is almost a signature for Leo, and he does it as well as anybody else here for Middle Tennessee and maybe in Conference USA in general. Here you see Rakeen standing well behind that baseline. The serve from Fajan on the way. Into the net it goes. Fajan also recently named to the CUSA All-Academic team, as was Rakeen. So both these players not just incredible on the court, but off the court as well for their respective programs. Straight A students and straight A players.
And a little update as Leo hits a fantastic backhand there. Over on court 4, Jakob does officially get his first set with a score of 6-4.
So Jakob Crosslock completes the clean sweep for Middle Tennessee in set 1 victories with a 6-4 set 1 victory over Gustavo Campos. So Middle wins 6-0 in set 1 on court 1, 6-1. And set 1 on court 2, 6-4 on court 3, 6-4 on court 4, 6-0 court 5, and 6-0 on court 6. So pretty well-rounded domination for the Blue Raiders. On serve is Fajan, down 30-love to Leo Rakeen in set number 2. And Rakeen with the dropper.
Wow, textbook drop shot there. Just completely dead in the ball with that spin.
That is such a hard return to make and such a hard return to then have to conversely return. Fajan probably didn't expect it to land quite like that.
Leo currently on a 4-game win streak at MTSU. Another player on a 4-game win streak right now, Shu Matsuoka, is currently up 4-1 in his second set over on court 6.
Rakeen now up 40-love. And something interesting to note, he was ranked number 32 last week in the ITA rankings, but actually he dropped after winning the CUSA Athlete of the Week. I wonder if that's been an extra source of motivation for him.
Yeah, and we know him as well as definitely Coach Callie has something to say about the rankings. This was one of the years that the MTSU Blue Raiders were not preseason ranked in the top 25. They were previously in 2022, and we talked about it on some of our previous broadcasts that they were pretty upset about that to begin with. They think that they should have been ranked at least somewhat higher, and they're definitely trying to prove that. They've had some great wins this year, and they've moved pretty fairly high up the rankings, currently in the top 50.
Middle Tennessee currently number 34 in the ITA team rankings as of today. They will almost certainly make the NCAA tournament as an at-large, even if they don't win this tournament. But they want it all, as Rakeen puts it in the net. A couple of mistakes here against Fajan. An unforced error makes it 40-30.
Great chance to book MTSU's spot in that NCAA tournament. Would be a win here, and then certainly seeing if they can beat either Liberty or Jacksonville State.
That coming up right after the conclusion of this match between the 2 and 3 seeds.
Jacksonville State, another very highly ranked opponent that they might see also in the top 50.
Rakeen places it in the net, and it's now deuce. So how about it's high Fajan coming back from 40-love here in this game, and he's got a chance to tie it up at 2 apiece and win his service point. This could be massive for Fajan if he has any hope of coming back and winning this second set to make things interesting against Leo Rakeen. Serve from the ad side coming up. Deuce situation. And Rakeen with those boisterous backhands, able to take care of business again.
Leo just completely peppered the deuce side and then, yep, dagger right across.
So Leo Rakeen makes it 3-1 on court number 1 in sensational fashion. And the Blue Raiders continuing their onslaught. And here's a look at head coach Carlos Vargas for New Mexico State. We were talking about him early on. In his 35th total season with New Mexico State, his 12th season as the head coach. Former player also at the New Mexico State Military Institute in Roswell. He was named the Broncos MVP when he played at #3 singles. Also played at Arkansas State, where he was both #1 in singles and doubles. He has coached 12 different singles players to all conference honors, and he's also won WAC tournament titles in 2015, 2016, and 2018, taking part this year in his first ever CUSA tournament. So Coach Vargas and Coach Borndane came in at about the same time, Ken. That creates a little bit of linked history between the two.
Both two very talented coaches, to say the least.
But they've never faced off as head coaches until today. As Rakeen will pull it wide.
It's just a bit on his back foot there was Leo Rakeen on that back end.
Keeping an eye on court number 5. Right now, Demis Teramonlis up 5-0 in set number 2, Cam. So he is potentially going to get that second point for Middle Tennessee in just a few moments.
We talked about Demis just recently in one of our broadcasts. Demis had a 6-0-6-1 victory against a player. One of the streams, he was our player of the game, and
look
we
out.
asked him, oh wow, great slam there from Leo.
Look out below. Sorry to interrupt you there, Cam, but Leo Rakeen showing his dominance.
Easy put away shot there from him. He's just never fails to be able to move up to the net and take control. So Demis, at least on that match that he won 6-0-6-1, we asked him as the MVP of that match, did you want that double bagel? And he said, I mean, when you're in that position, it's kind of hard to not want that double bagel. So, you know, I definitely could see that he's trying to pull for it right now.
And he's got a great chance of doing just that.
Oh, wow. Great kicking backhand there from Leo.
Tell you what, his backhand is as good as anybody I've seen from Middle Tennessee and New Mexico State here today.
He bucked up like a horse on that kick. It was crazy.
Yeah. Former transfer out of Temple, he was 56-17 in singles. Entering this year, had 100 career wins, also including his doubles. And he was all the way up to number 106 in the ITA junior rankings in the past.
Fantastic backhand there again, as we were mentioning. Perfectly put down the line. So hard to return that. Also, yeah, there's really not too much that you can't say about Leo. I mean, recently at the senior spotlight that we had, also at this new tennis complex, Coach Jimmy could not stop raving about Leo and how he was a fantastic get. Almost wasn't able to grab him as a transfer from Temple, but he did get him, and he immediately came in and took that court 1 spot. He's done fantastic there ever since.
Certainly has done fantastic for Middle Tennessee. And there's a look at head coach Jimmy Borndame, as you were talking about, in his 14th season with the Blue Raiders, has won 4 consecutive CUSA championships and has really made history time and time again for the Blue Raiders. He's taken a team as high as number 15 in the ITA rankings and has raised more than $9 million toward MTSU facilities. In many ways, without him, there is a high likelihood that this facility would have never been built.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you would have seen the facility last time, half the courts were taken up by a street. It was literally cut in half by the street that runs right outside of the complex. Coach Jimmy really, really tried to get that new complex.
Meanwhile, Demis Teramonlis trying to take set 2.
Oh, fantastic passing there from New Mexico State. Yeah, Coach Jimmy tried so hard to get this new complex and raised all that money for it. It's a beautiful, beautiful new place to play at, new surfaces. New Mexico State also has new surfaces at their complex as well.
So Teramonlis not on serve. Up against Patrick Lohman, trying to get the second point for Middle Tennessee today. Here's the serve.
And a little update on court 6, Shu Matsuoka just finished his match with a score of 6-0, 6-1.
So Shu Matsuoka able to get point number 2 for Middle Tennessee. with a 6-1 second set victory, and now Tara Monless could potentially join him. 2-0 Middle Tennessee. Could it be 3-0 as we've reached deuce on court 5?
This is break point here for the match.
And it's called back. So Lohman moves out of the way, called out, and that is a tough break for Tara Monless, but Patrick Lohman able to keep his hopes alive. Score will now be 5-1 in set number 2.
Tara Monless with the opportunity to get an easy hold now. New Mexico State would really need to fight back if they plan on winning this one.
As we will now send it courtside to Tommy. Tommy, what do you have for us?
On court number 6, Matsuoka defeated Dielstiani 6-0, 6-1. Matsuoka looked very dominant here today, and he was able to hold service 3 times in the set. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Tommy. As you mentioned, Shu Matsuoka able to get the second point from Middle Tennessee today, the first singles victory for the Blue Raiders on a court with court number 6. Big moment for him, and meanwhile we rejoin the action with Patrick Lohman and Demis Tara Monless.
Just deep there from Patrick. His first hold of the match this last game. So Demis will not be able to get the double bagel.
He will not. He might still be able to get the breadstick. That's what it's called when you make it 6-1 in a set victory.
Bagel and a breadstick would make for a great lunch for Demis. Fantastic shot there, though, from Patrick.
Patrick Lohman showing the determination and the grit that you need to put yourself back in position. And a beautiful shot right against that line that time, Cam.
Patrick does not like breadsticks.
Guess he wouldn't like Pizza Hut. As that is just outside. And actually, no, they're going to call that an ace. My apologies.
Oh, wow.
What a serve from Demis Tara Monless. So Patrick Lohman was kind of nonchalant about it, but I guess he knew that there was no stopping that one. Now 30-all. And that ball goes all the way out. And Cam, I think the wind carried that ball all the way behind that line.
Yep, it is. That is the direction the wind's moving. I think you're right.
So Tara Monless with a gimme, and now it's 40-30 with a chance to claim the 3rd point for Middle Tennessee. He does.
Perfect drop shot there from Demis. He's going to win this. 6-0, 6-1 for Demis Tara Monless.
Demis Tara Monless with the drop shot. It's now 3-0 Middle Tennessee as he claims the 6-1 breadstick second set victory.
And a little dance there from Demis as he's going to pick up the 3rd point now for MTSU.
What a performance by Demis Tara Monless as he goes 12 for 13 in singles action. We move back to court number 1.
Both him and Shu have officially finished 6-0, 6-1. Back on court 1 here.
Oh boy. And Ty Fajan, my apologies, able to tie up Rakeen. And it is now going to be 40-30 over on court 1. Taking a look at our other action, this is, at the moment, it appears the closest that Middle Tennessee has to potentially claiming this match and doing it here on a set number 2. Serve coming up from Fajan. And a Ty Fajan again, just powering it down right past Rakeen.
And you can tell I'd say he's starting to get into a groove now. If he can work his way into this match a little bit more, play more of his tennis, he could slowly start to come back.
That's going to make it 4-2 now in set number 2.
Fun to mention that while this is the Conference USA tournament, this is the first Conference USA opponent that either teams have faced this year. With the Conference realignment, it's kind of hard to schedule when you only have 4 teams, but this is the first matchup for all teams in Conference USA.
As we keep our eye here on court number 1, Rakeem puts it in the net. Up 4-2 on a tie Fajan. That goes just outside. Meanwhile, here's an update on court number 2. Marcel Kamrowski up 5-2 on Tobias Valine. Remember, Middle Tennessee needs just one more singles court to go their way, and they are very close to doing just that. And that one goes well outside for Fajan. You can feel the intensity picking up as Middle Tennessee can sense that victory may be near.
Perfect placement down there at the net. Again, right at the feet.
Leo Rakeen, as you mentioned, with perfect placement, and that is almost an impossible return to make when you have to scoop it up like that right in front of the net. Leo Rakeen showing how the years and years of experience are paying off. Makes it 30 all. Rakeen puts it just outside. Meanwhile, also on court number 3, it is 15 all. Currently, Andre Horak on serve. That is pushed wide by Fajan to make it 40-30 Rakeen. Rakeen trying to join his fellow teammates in making it 5-2 in set number 2. And what a serve by Rakeen.
Yeah, that one just so hard to return. There's so much speed on that.
Makes it 5-2. They will make their way to the changeover station. Meanwhile, a couple of courts pretty close for Middle Tennessee. Courts 3 and court 2. Both potentially in position to take the win for Middle Tennessee here in this match. We're keeping a close eye on both of them. Currently on court 3, New Mexico State is up by a score of 40-15 with Rocco Stepetic on Andre Horak. Meanwhile, on court number 2, Marcel Kamrowski up 5-3 on serve, making it 15-love against Tobias Valine. And here's a look at court number 2 live. Marcel Kamrowski on serve, places it in the net. Up 15-love currently on Tobias Valine. If Kamrowski can get a 6-3 second set win, it will clinch the match for the Blue Raiders. And he double faulted Cam.
Yep, double fault there. Bit of an announcer's curse on that one, apologies.
Can't underestimate our power, as Anakin Skywalker would say.
Got another opportunity here.
15 all. And Kamrowski just lets it go out. Too much mustard on it by Tobias Valine, makes it 30-15. Into the net. And how apropos would it be for Kamrowski to do this? Spike it down.
Oh, yep,
40-15
there. That ball comes up here.
He has clinched so many matches for Middle Tennessee in the past, including last year's CUSA championship against UTSA. And now he has an opportunity here at home in Murfreesboro to clinch Middle Tennessee's way to the CUSA championship final. Here we go. Kamrowski the serve. And that'll do it. Middle Tennessee able to find their way back. And the Blue Raiders are moving on to the CUSA championship final with a big win 4-0 over New Mexico State.
And the rest of the Raiders will halt play here. There's another match that will be taking place right after this.
Middle Mania is running wild again. The Blue Raiders back to the CUSA Men's Tennis Championship Final. History chasers, dream makers, Blue Raiders. And head coach Jimmy Borendame has got to be elated, as does the man who gets the job done, Marcel Kamrowski. Always seems to be him at the end, Cam, but he knows exactly what needs to be done, and he proved it once again today.
Absolutely.
We'll send it to a quick break and be right back to Murfreesboro. Middle Tennessee wins 4-0 over New Mexico State, folks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Dylan Simmons and Cam Eschenfelder with you today, and the Blue Raiders clinched their way to the CUSA Championship Final by a score of 4-0 over the New Mexico State Aggies. What a job by Middle Tennessee. What dominance that they showed today, Cam.
Absolutely, Dylan. I think today it was all a key about playing the Blue Raiders game individually. I think Leo, Shu, all the players today came out fired up, honestly. I mean, for the CUSA tournament, it was first time that they're going to be hosting it on this new complex, and I think they did a fantastic job.
And the man you just saw on your screen, Marcel Kamrowski, clinched it for Middle Tennessee in the end, and the Blue Raiders taking the 4-0 victory. We talked about how crucial the doubles point was. And again, that stat ran true once again, as we've got Mr. Tommy on the sideline with head coach Jimmy Borendame. Tommy, take it away.
So, Coach, what did you think about today's performance?
You know, the guys came out ready to play right away. It was a little awkward with the delay, with the rain, but it was really cruel to have, you know, we have 26 alum and to honor Coach Short before the match. It was a great environment, so we got the W.
Coach, who's the standout player for you today?
You know, I'd have to say over here, I mean, Javi and Marcel at two doubles, just taking care of business pretty quick, 6-0, getting things started and setting the intensity.
And the last question for you, how are you going to prepare the guys for tomorrow?
You know, we're going to go do some cold contrast showers and whatnot, so help recover a little bit for tomorrow and go get some food and feed them and hydrate, ready for tomorrow.
All right, guys, back to you.
Thank you, Tommy. Excellent job, as always. And you heard the elation from head coach Jimmy Borendame, but he may have won, but he's not done, Cam. He's got a lot more that he's looking forward to, and that will be tomorrow at 12 p.m. Central, right back here at the MTSU Tennis Complex.
Yeah, and you can tell Coach Jimmy's already locked in and ready for this next matchup. We will see who he takes on. We will be covering next match. It'll be Liberty up playing against,
Jacksonville State.
Yeah, Jacksonville State, now a different state team.
Yes.
And once that match completes, we will see MTSU take on the winner of that tomorrow here at the same complex. But yeah, you can tell Coach Jimmy's already ready to go for that one.
It's going to be a phenomenal second match as part of our CUSA Men's Tennis Championship doubleheader today. We'll have Grant Langston and Matt Hayden on the call. And also a fun little fact, Liberty won the first ever NIT tournament a year ago in tennis action, so they certainly have the ability to do potentially more. Here's a look at our final stats of the day, and you see Middle Tennessee's dominance on display as well. Look at Shu Matsuoka with the 6-0, 6-1 first two-set victories. Demis Taramonlis was sensational today. And of course the clincher, Marcel Kamrowski with a 6-1 first set victory and a 6-3 second set victory over Tobias Valine. As we will take a look at our final highlights, it has certainly been a sensational afternoon here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Cam, thank you for joining me. It's been a great afternoon with you.
Fantastic afternoon so far. It was great to see the Blue Raiders pull out another 4-0 victory today.
Well, folks, thank you so much for watching. We will see you next time. This is Dylan Simmons saying so long from Murfreesboro. We will see you later. Remember to always have an electric night.